Hey guys, Xfox here. Check it out. We are back with kind of a tune overview. Lucas here for King's Raid. A lot of you guys were actually asking me about healers, and they really haven't come out with a healer, I would say, recently that's been kind of game-changing, and I still think they haven't. They still really need to make one because they keep coming out with a lot of tanks, a lot of DPS, a lot of assassins, so hey, let's go over this one. Anyways, we're going to make this quick. We're not going to draw it all out. So Lucas, is he good? Yeah, but he's kind of been downplayed since December 20th when they came out with their last patch. Really, when they started adding in additional Tier 1 and Tier 2 perks that you can get, it's kind of been a game changer for a lot of the, well, I would say especially the Priest class or the Healer class. And now since they've introduced adding additional Transcendence points, you can add more than what someone has to the game. It's really changed kind of the healer role because that healer that you had that you kind of had to pick between certain perks, well, you know what, now you can use those extra Transcendence points to get those extra perks, so you don't need to buy an extra healer. So that's really kind of changed the game when it comes to healers. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's take a look at his skills. Path of Blessing, this one's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a very good heal. Especially with the P damage debuff. I mean, you basically you're gonna hit all allies, right? I mean, the four allies with the lowest HP. So you're gonna hit them for about 300,000, which is not bad, and they take the kind of the reduced P buff. Now, this is not a solid heal, say like Frey's T1. I mean, Frey's T1, right, is just a solid heal for one person. You get about what 1 million or so, or 1 billion, something like that, hit points. Anyways, definitely a good heal to start out with. Of course, Zone of Faith, I think this is really what what most people see when they see this guy. So he sets up for the Zone of Faith, right, at the location for 4 seconds. It increases the attack of all allies, so they're basically at 60,000, which is pretty huge. It's usually that's like a 50-60% buff depending on the person it's buffing. But then also it continuously heals them for about 200,000 every second, which is awesome. And then it does P damage for about 100,000 of enemies within that zone, and they get a small stun. So this by far I think is going to be the key factor you're going to see a lot of people use him for, the Zone of Faith. But again, I don't know, is it the key one? I mean, it is 5 mana, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. So Stigmata is pretty good. It increases the P dodge of all allies by 250 and their attack by, again, about 32,000, 15 seconds. Now, most of you guys will probably say, well, that kind of sucks. Well, it's not that bad, but if you use this in conjunction with someone like it's Cassell. So if you're going to use this in conjunction with Cassell, it's pretty huge for 15 seconds because he raised his attack as well as do an additional P dodge of 250, so he's going to be dodging all over the place. So these guys work kind of hand in hand if you use Cassell. Not many people do. He did get recently just a rework, so it's probably something that you want to take a quick look at or go back and take a look at Cassell if you guys haven't had a chance. So let's go to the 4th, Holy Sacrifice. It's pretty good. Heals all allies except the caster by about 600,000 when the caster dies. So it's not probably the most sought after Holy. Really, again, the main one you're going to see people use for is Zone of Faith as well as Path of Blessings. So that's it for that. Let's hop over to Transcendent, because probably most of you guys are saying, how do I build this guy? So really, since they introduced the new additional perks here, they're probably going to add more. It changes the game a little bit for him, but you still probably want to take, of course, your your T11 and probably your T23 right here, our T13. Most people will go for this right here, which is 2-2, or some people call it T22. This is not bad at all. Inner Presence, or Inner Peace, not bad at all. I'm not sure which. I was looking over the top builds, and most people will do 2-3 and 2-4 that I see, and then 1-1 and then 1-3 that I typically see. So it's kind of up to you. Basically, your T3 is the big one, right? This one kind of defines everything. I've seen a lot of people not do some of these and actually just go for your T5 Dark and Light. So, I mean, your Dark is huge. Increases own mana recovery second by 300% for 3 seconds when casting an active skill. That's huge. He's just going to be, cranking the stuff out there. So you can take both those. Let's go back up here. Most people will take the 3 Dark for Path of Blessings. Recovers target mana by 500%. Or 500, which is huge. Then most people might even go continues to spell positive effects while enemies are within range. But most will go this one right here from the top players that I see. And then, of course, Stigma of Darkness. I see a lot of people go the light for Stigma. So, of course, you increase the target's accuracy by 150 for 5 seconds, and additional P damage. Hey, not that bad. Or, of course, you can go Holy Sacrifice. Totally, again, kind of up to you. So, these top tiers, you always see kind of the same thing. The third tier, Transcendent perk, it's between the dark and light that I see. It's been 50-50 if you guys look at the top end people, and then some people will take both. Let's hop over to the weapons as well as weapon. So here we are with his, of course, ultimate weapon. Is it required? No, but is it good? Oh man, it's really, really good, especially when you get it into the higher tiers. For 30 seconds after the battle starts, reduce P damage taken by all allies by 10%, and you increase their attack speed by 100. And the 10% and the 100, of course, both scale, and you will see here, as this thing scales, it gets pretty ridiculous. 12, 14, 17, 21, 25, attack speed by 250. So right out of the gate, you are just hammering away, especially as this thing gets up pretty high. I mean, most people are going to probably have it at 2. So 30 seconds into the battle, you get 14% P damage reduction, which, oh man, that's awesome. And then everybody gets a 140 attack speed buff. That is crazy. So it's not required, but definitely useful. Let's go look at his treasures. Alright, so both of his UTs are fairly powerful. Again, are they required? No, but always, if you have them, they make a huge difference. So, of course, we got up here, Dice of Remembrance. You can see for the Zone of Faith, reduce mana cost by 1, which is huge. I mean, the thing is already, 5 mana to cast, so 4 mana, even better. And reduce mana of enemies within range by 200 per second. So again, this Zone of Faith is going to be the key one that you want to get off with this guy. You can get that thing off. You're going to buff your whole team as well as debuff, right, the enemy team. So as this thing scales, you guys can see, oh man, that is huge. I mean, you get this thing up even 2 stars, and it's going to be doing just some definite disruption for the other team. The second one here, of course, is going to be a Book of Blessings. Reduce mana cost by 1 for Path of Blessings, and cooldown by 12%. Not bad. Which one would I take over the 2? Oh, definitely the Dice, hands down. But maybe you want to get that, you want to get Path of Blessings off quicker for the heals. But you know what? I'm going with the Dice as my key one that I want to execute. Now, what are some of the artifacts that you want to get with this guy? I've seen it kind of all over the board. Some of the top people, I think, were using the Tome, or the Tarot Card of Loss, so you can give them a little bit of extra attack increase. But I've also seen some people put, oh, where'd it go? Right here, Lulu's Necklace. So I don't know why they're going between one or two of those over the other one. The Lulu's Necklace, I guess, is not that bad for this hero. I would definitely want him to survive a little bit more, but I've been seeing people flip-flop in between those, especially the top, 100 accounts you see kind of flip-flop in between those. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of quick overview on this particular tune. If you like them or not, try doing it as quick as possible. Thanks again, guys, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already.